Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Oh, welcome to Final Guys, the horror podcast that 5 years after we finally pull the plug on this will become a cult classic. But until then, we're just schmucks who do this every Tuesday night.
Everyone will celebrate when we stop.
Yeah, exactly. Tonight, by the way, in the words of Captain Quince, you're going to need a bigger mop. Because we're reviewing the final installment of Ty West's Pearl MaXXXine trilogy, MaXXXine with some extra X's, you dirty bastards. Long awaited, probably one of the most anticipated movies of 2024. So I'm glad we're finally here, and I am joined by, and by the way, this name, he likes to call himself Douche, but Ballbuster is more in line with who he is. Jason Brantz?
Yeah, okay, that's right. I'll take that.
Yeah, take all the douche stuff down. Ballbuster's back. Chad, a penny saved Lutsky.
That's me. A penny saved.
I don't get that.
It means you didn't go to the movies.
It means I didn't. Yeah, it means I got more money than you know.
You're fucking 10 pounds foolish for not seeing this. Okay, next, Jack. Max Headroom. Can't be easy.
Yeah.
And I am Anna Porniak because they played You're My Obsession by Anna Motion in the movie, which is why
That song just always is a home run. Remember that? What's that movie? Fresh.
Yes.
Sebastian stands at the.
That's one of the best songs to come out of the whole new wave thing. And Porn.
Mm-hmm.
And Maniac. I think maybe that should change my official name. Go to the DMV. Before we jump into the craziness, are there any creepy couches or SBIG newses thingsies that you guys want to talk about?
Jason?
We did record 300. It was a long day of drinking. I'm getting too old for that shit. That was about it. No, just regular shit coming out. Regular
How's
old
the
stuff.
bladder after that?
Bladder is okay. Liver,
See, for me, I would have to, if I'm doing that, I'd be like, we got to start this at 6 a.m. Because if I don't stop by 6 p.m., I'm just going to pee every half an hour till the next morning.
You just have a catheter on.
We do start at 9 a.m. Like we get
that 2 liter.
We got done recording Friday night at like 9 p.m. and at 9 a.m. we were recording again. So it was a lot.
That is a lot.
And Langley in the chat says this is the first time watching us live. So hello.
Yo!
Welcome, buddy.
Yo.
What's up, Langley?
Okay,
Can
so
we call you Lang?
Lang?
It sounds like a covert operation. Langley.
You want to talk about your record, Jason? Your potential record?
No.
Okay.
One up
You have a
closer.
record coming out?
All right.
I guess I'm talking about it. We're putting out a So Bad It's Good soundtrack. We're trying to. Where we're getting the rights to songs that are in some of these movies we've watched. Like original songs. And we have the rights to 4 of them locked down so far. We're going to do probably 8. So we're getting there. It's going to be a vinyl recording only. Limited edition.
How is Lutsky like breaking the news on this? Is he like following your newsletter or something?
I was watching Acolyte Cultist Toten in the chat.
There we go.
I mentioned it during our unboxing last night. So
I
Sunday
thought
night.
like a soundtrack would be original music that sounds like Seagal like grunting to get into his pants.
Hunter, what would it take for you to sit down and watch him unbox things?
You'd have to pay me, I guess. I don't even like to watch myself unbox things. I just like cut shit open and throw it.
You guys act like once a week you don't sit here for free and listen to me bitch about horror movies.
Yeah, but
we do that.
That's different from watching you open presents.
Yeah. If I can unbox it with you and like screw things up and
it's no equally less entertaining. Equally less? Okay. Chad, you talk.
Yeah. Okay.
What's going on your crusty couch?
Because I had, I've had I've had a Patreon page for an author Patreon page for 6 years. I didn't know I had it for that long. It's done much better than I ever thought it would, and I recently changed it to the Creepy Couch Patreon page. So if you want to know why, there's the video on there that you can watch. But because I have the most awesome patrons already, many of them stayed to support Creepy Couch rather than the writing that I used to put on there. And so we've been putting up Twin Peaks. We started watching that, and the pilot is on YouTube, and the second episode is on Patreon, and we're gonna do Twin Peaks until it's done, and then keep going and have behind the scenes crap and all that kind of stuff. So don't expect anyone here to go there, but if you're interested,
at least you're staying contemporary.
Huh?
I said at least you're staying contemporary.
Yeah. So, and then briefly, I got this in the mail. Well, I got a few of them. This is the signed limited edition of How the Skin Sheds, my quote unquote splatter Western.
Good.
I don't know how much this is right now. And normally I don't get these until they're been announced for a while, but this was not even up, didn't even go up for pre-order, which is what Thunderstorm usually does. They just announced it. I don't know if you could buy this by itself or if you have to buy like 3 or 4 other, because they do all the Death's Head Press splatter westerns in I don't know. Anyway, this is there on thunderstormbooks.com. Again, I don't know if it's, I would assume if it's by itself, it's probably about $60, $80 or something like that. But last I looked, there was like, you had to buy 4 or 5 of them at like $350 or something. But I think they sell out all the limiteds all the time. So I think that's my 5th or 6th one with them.
I'm a book lover, and I would never spend $350 on books ever.
No,
even if it was a Bible that was written by Paul the Apostle himself, just wouldn't.
I would do that.
There are hardcores out there, man.
There are.
God bless collectors out there with
Paul
enough
Reiser
money to do
himself.
that, so. But thunderstorm.com, thunderstormbooks.com, and if you sign up for their newsletter,
let's land this plane.
Another one. Hang on, I got 4 more announcements. One's about the upcoming Star Wars movie.
Oh, I hear it's Empire or something.
If you sign up for another Thunderstorm Books newsletter, then in the coming months you'll see another announcement with my name on it. But I can't. Other than that, I can't say anything more.
All right. Well, Jack, you have anything?
Nope.
I got nothing. I barely made it here on time. So let's go to the drinking words.
I got him.
I fooled you. I bet you thought I was going to the news.
I totally thought you were going to the news. All right. Sheridan Bradford supplied these beautiful words for us. If you hear Jack say bacon slasher or cult, take a drink. Or if you hear Hunter say Pearl, X, or movie. If you hear me say trilogy, comedy, or shoots. Or if you hear Lutsky say to be MaXXXine or Hollywood. And any of the bonus words, goth, west, or head, take a drink.
I'd like to get goth head. Okay. Because this is such a special episode, I'm expecting special news. So let's jump. Jack Campese's award-winning news.
It's the news. Yay.
Nothing like mid-July for tons of news to be rolling out.
Always good horror news.
Hunter.
Yes.
Should I start or end with the news that we
start
talk about? I'll save it for last. Anybody here a fan of Return of the Living Dead 3?
No. Is it just me or is Jack now underwater?
Yeah, something happened to his audio. Wasn't me.
What? It's like one of us every week. What is this?
I'm underwater?
No, now you're good. It's like a weird thing. It lasts like 10 seconds. I don't get it.
He's running.
It's got to be StreamYard.
I'm Merman from He-Man. Hey, Skeletor. Okay.
3's the one where she cuts herself to like stop the process and stuff like that. Yeah.
Melinda Clark.
I don't mind that one.
Well, hot off the presses, some guy named let's see, filmmaker Dustin Ferguson somehow got a lost cut of Return of the Living Dead 3 that has 8 extra minutes. So now they're working on it, and probably sometime next year, an extended cut of Return of the Living Dead 3 is going to be released to the world.
Okay.
Who was asking for this?
I saw that a long time ago, and
Me
all
too.
I remember is like having a crush on Melinda Clark.
All right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Is this the one with the chicks with the spikes sticking out of her face and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen
Yeah,
that movie twice, and I still don't remember anything.
That's all I remember, and it's
been a
been
while.
a very long time.
And it's 1,000 times better than anything after it. As
Oh.
far as Return of the Living Dead.
I don't think I've seen anything after it.
We don't mention 4 and 5.
So yeah. Oh well, Tim Meyer, I'm sure, is ordering his stuff right now.
He's like 8 minutes. Part 3. Holy shit.
I smell Steelbook.
Can I get an advance on my allowance?
This could be good news if you like Conjuring movies, and this could be good news if you don't like Conjuring movies. The final untitled Conjuring film is scheduled to be released on September 5th of 2025.
Wow. Well, final unless it makes a lot of money.
Well, I'm sure then we're going to have like 2 years later Conjuring the Next Generation. So
Because I mean, they're aging into the actual ages of Ed and Lorraine Warren, so it's fine. They can go forever.
I mean, if they keep making money, I can't see them actually stopping until these movies start to bomb.
That word is going to become like Amityville. We're going to have Conjuring Death Toilet in 20 years.
I hope so.
instead of de-aging the actors, they should make them look more like the real Ed and Lorraine, like put on like prosthetics and makeup like
Yeah, exactly.
like Gary Oldman and Dracula.
I mean, look, they got to pay for, mortgages and college education, so they're gonna.
Here's the thing, though: you end Conjuring 2-3 years later. We're rebooting Conjuring with younger, cheaper people, and you heard it here first.
But when you think of the Warrens, you only think of them old, which is the weird. So should like jack it up. Can we? Is Jessica Tandy still around? Is she available?
I'm trying to remember how many of these I've seen. I feel like I've maybe only seen 2, maybe 3.
Third
there's
one
only
was the
3.
Devil Made Me Do It or something like that.
Yeah, that
Did
was
we do that
terrible.
here?
No,
We might have.
I've only seen one.
One is good. 2 is a roller
I liked
coaster
1.
ride, and 3 is
I hate to.
wretched.
Maybe I've seen up to 3 and
I
then
thought
just
3
bowed.
was really bad too. I only like the first one.
The Nun is a spin-off of those, though, right?
The Nun and the Annabelle.
Okay, well, The Nun is clearly the best one of the series. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Hands down.
far and away. Brilliant film.
After seeing The Nun and Annabelle and Conjuring, I liked Conjuring, but I have no interest in seeing any sequel from anything from this world anymore at all.
Annabelle 2 is good.
Is good.
That's the most fun I've had in the
it
movie
is.
theater in probably the last 10 years. And 3
You're
is
not
good.
going to the right movies.
Yeah, what?
No, it was old school. Like Jack, remember the 80s? We would go see like Friday the 13th, and it was just raucous and rocking. That's what was going on. It was like a magical moment. Can't get it back.
There we go. Morgan Freeman shows up to drive Mrs. Warren around. There's our movie.
I like it.
Now, I have a feeling we're going to get more of a positive reaction to this than for Return of the Living Dead 3. Any fans of Drag Me to Hell?
Never seen it.
Hell yeah.
Chad, you've never seen Drag Me to Hell?
Sam Raimi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not. No.
Put that on the couch. Put it in the couch cushion.
That's a good movie.
You got to watch that.
I
Put it
heard
on
it's
the-
good.
It's crusty worthy. So Allison Lohman was, I guess, chatting up people maybe on Twitter, and somebody brought up a sequel. When are we going to get a sequel to Drag Me to Hell? And she actually threw back 2026 and a winky emoji. So
That'd be pretty amazing.
Is that all the news we have, though? Is just her, like, trolling on Twitter?
Yes.
She has
But she's giving
thrown out a
hate.
nugget. Number 3, if you're complaining about the friggin' level of news, I could have brought in a lot more crap. So
No, this is fine. You're talking about an upper echelon movie
yeah,
with the actress giving us a year for
giving
some
us a year.
potentiality. I'll take it.
That'd be amazing. I mean, how long's that been? 10 years? 8 years?
Probably.
2009.
Holy
15
cow.
years? What?
Chad, seriously, you will love this movie.
Wow.
You know what? You know why I haven't seen it? It's because it's one of those movies that because I don't rent much and haven't rented much in the last decade or so, and it's one of
Yeah.
those movies that was very that just never made it to any kind of streaming place that I was paying for.
That's true.
So
I
I think recently
find
it
me a
did
copy
find
years
its way
ago.
either on Shudder or Tubi within the last month or two.
It's so good.
I just hear a lot of excuses. I get your ass on the couch and watch that movie,
Yeah.
or your horror card is getting suspended for a day.
I might have an extra copy here. I'll
Might
look
have a
through.
copy. You could do an unboxing.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Yeah.
Watching
Seriously,
on Creepy
if I find
Couch,
it.
give a shout out to Hunter Shea.
If I have an extra copy, I'm going to send it over. It's one of my wife's favorite horror movies.
Yeah.
That gives her a little extra cred, Jason, because you live rent free in her head at all times.
Chad, you are going to like it. So.
Yeah.
Made one comment 4 years ago.
Dude, in fact, I have some with the movie I'm going to talk about tonight. There was discussions about whether I bring this up and your reaction. I'm like, what
can't
the
wait.
hell? It's amazing.
And the coolest news of the week. A long time ago, this was sort of teased by somebody on the internet and like, wouldn't this be great? And then it turned into, actually, we're talking to them about it now. And now it has actually happened. Lego is going to release on August 1st the Orca kit with the shark and the boat and Quint and Brody and all them.
That's pretty
So
awesome.
if you're a Lego person, you could get the Jaws Lego. Now, you might think, Jack, you're a big Jaws guy. I am. But I am not a person who likes to sit down and put stuff together like that. So if somebody wants to build it and glue it together and send it to me, cool.
When I saw that and I sent it to you on like Instagram or something, I was like, "Oh, do I get that for Jack?" I'm like, "He's not going to put together a Lego set.
I
Never."
would hire somebody.
Hey, you get one of those guys
Oh, I
hanging
do
out
it.
by Dunkin' Donuts. Put
I
together
do it for
a
sure.
Lego. Yeah. So, I wonder how much
know,
it's
you-
going to be.
It's probably like $70 at least.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that kind of crap costs, but I have looked at them before, and they're not cheap.
I'll wait till it comes at Five Below.
I've got the Funko Jaws stuff, so that's good for me.
That's
But anyway,
good.
if you're a Lego person, let us know if you get it and how much you paid.
Look at New Man Lang, over $3,000 worth of Lego. Jeez.
So you get it, build it, send it to me, and I'll give you a shout out.
Build it, and Jab will come, and Hunter will finish
all
it.
over it.
And that is all the news. It's fit to print.
All right, fit to print is questionable, but let's move on to the things we watched and read and saw.
We have such sights to show you.
I'm torn who to choose to go first. I'm going to go with Ballbuster Brant because I like the whole triple B kind of sound of it.
Okay. Well, I watched a movie mentioned by Tim, and then I think you brought it up this week, called I Saw the TV Glow.
I saw the coming attraction. You were like, I didn't see that.
I didn't,
No,
but I
Tim
did see the
thought-
movie.
Tim thought we all thought it sounded bad.
It is.
I didn't even know if the movie came out, and it's an A24 movie.
Is this A24?
It's A24.
Oh, man.
So when I say bad, I mean the characters are completely emotionless. The dialogue is strange and stilted and sometimes doesn't make sense. And, like, this is a very artistic film. This is one of those where you're gonna like it, or you're probably really not gonna like it. I didn't like it. It like just even when characters are talking to each other, like a son's talking to a mom at one point, and he says something. 5-second pause. She replies. 8-second pause. He replies.
Oh,
I'm like, what?
That.
Like, Jesus Christ!
But it's
The
not
last
bad
conversation.
editing. It's on purpose, right?
It's on purpose. Yeah, this is like I
Okay.
said. It's very artistic. Like this.
I'll probably like this then.
You might. The characters suck, as in like they're boring. So you might like them. I can see why Tim likes this. Tim likes weird shit. I usually like weird shit, but not when it's boring. And this was boring to me. Visually, there is some interesting stuff, so I will absolutely give credit there. But there's no emotion in any performance at all. Like, it's just so, the whole movie is flat. You'll watch people walking down a hallway, like multiple hallways, for like 2 minutes. Somebody just walking down a hallway till they go in a door. You'll see like 3 different bands play a song. Just like mid-conversation, like main characters are talking. Now we have to watch this band play a song. Then main characters are talking. Like, it's very strange.
I'm
And
so out on this movie.
Yeah,
it's very stretched out, some of this stuff. I mean, it's clearly the aesthetic the director was going for, but not my thing. Definitely not my thing. But there are going to be people who love this, for sure.
I don't know. I was kind of in, and then you said Tim liked it, so now I don't know.
Yeah,
probably
Tim, the
won't
first
like
time he mentioned it was the first time I'd heard it, so... Or the time he
How we
mentioned
know
it
it's
was the first
crap. Don't watch this.
I should have known better. Like, I should have known better.
Where'd you watch this, by the way? Is it on Amazon or something?
I rented it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
For $20? Wow.
Oh, he's got
It's
a
definitely not worth that. I don't. Did this come out in the theaters? Does anybody know?
I never saw it in the theater, but
No idea.
I'm glad I didn't watch this with my wife, because she would have hated this. The pacing is... It's not for everybody.
I thought I discovered maybe a little A24 gem we could like all latch onto, but nope.
I don't see you or Jack liking this. I
No,
would be
I'm not.
surprised.
I cannot stand zombie talk in movies. It just drives me nuts.
That is this. Like the main character walks in a room. There are 2 girls sitting there talking. They invited him. They stop talking to each other. They look at him. They go back to talking. He stands there for 30 seconds. Can I come in? They look at him. Shut up. He just keeps standing. I'm like, fucking God. Go in the room. Like, get on with it. But
That is student film level.
that's not what they want. They wanted this, like, slow and even, and not my thing. That's
Nope.
so.
There we go. A24 circling the drain. The circling has begun.
I actually don't take it that way with this. I think they just give directors money and say, do your thing. That's what this feels like. So not every one of those is going to be a home run. It doesn't feel like a Blumhouse thing at all.
That one was for the Tim crowd.
Exactly. Steel bookers.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Tina might like this. Tina might
She's
like this.
mildly intrigued.
Yeah, it might be a Tina movie.
Tina
All right,
seems like a
Dad.
Return of the Living Dead 3.
Does it have like dreamlike sequences with psychedelia stuff? Like,
Yeah.
okay, then that's why Tim likes it, right there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, it does have that stuff.
Sometimes I think Tim wishes that he were just on a constant trip.
I think he's cycling through some LSD he
So
took.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's probably it.
All right, Chad. Take us to something good.
Okay. I accidentally watched Ghoulies 2.
Oh,
And
forget I said that.
How do you accidentally watch it?
because it was supposed to be Ghoulies 1, and I was probably maybe an hour into it before I realized this is not Ghoulies. This is Ghoulies 2.
The title card didn't give it away?
Because the wife and I were talking during that, because we were doing commentary for Creepy Couch, then no. Which is funny because, yeah, we were talking and cracking a joke when Ghoulies 2 showed up, and we missed it. So, to be fair, I have the DVD that has Ghoulies 1 and Ghoulies 2 in it. And it's one of those DVDs that there's no graphic.
Yeah.
And I always get confused which freaking side is the one that's going to play. You know, and they're so tiny that, you know. So, yeah, I didn't even consider that this might be Ghoulies 2 because my wife put it in the DVD player. She doesn't know anything about the double-sided stuff. That's the one the DVD that I had. Anyways, we watched Ghoulies 2. And I thought I had seen Ghoulies before. Maybe I did in 1985. I had the poster on my wall as a kid because my dad would send me all kinds of stuff from Colorado, movie memorabilia. But this one starts with that guy that looks like Mr. Bean's grandfather, and this young Studley dude, and this midget that looks like Jim Croce and John Oates from Hall & Oates had a baby. And they are in a traveling carnival, and particularly for this thing called Satan's Den. That guy, John Oates and Jim Croce. Like so they have this basically what's a fun house called Satan's Den, and this guy who is Mr. Rich that owns this company that invests money into traveling carnivals, which is completely unrealistic because these places don't make any money. And from what I understand, the people who do the rides own the rides. So it's not like one person owns this whole thing. It's a whole ton of people, and they have to work together to do this thing. And they don't make much. So he's telling these people that they're going to shut down Satan's Den and any other ride or attraction that doesn't make more money than it's been making. So I don't know, because I guess I haven't seen Ghoulies. I don't know what happens at the end of Ghoulies, but in here, some cult members are chasing a priest who has a bag full of something that's moving around violently, and he dumps it. He finds a gas station that has an open, straight from Trauma's movie set, has an open barrel of toxic whatever that's open. So he drops the demon in there, and Ghoulies come out of it. Same ones that were in the first one, I guess. And they find their way to this Satan's Den thing via the truck as they make their way to the carnival, and it turns into a silly slasher. It's a bad movie. It's not a good movie.
I think you just spent more time talking about Ghoulies 2 than anyone else in history.
Maybe.
I have seen this. I don't remember a goddamn thing about this movie.
Me either.
Yeah, it's not memorable. The only reason why I remember any of it really is because I just saw it and I've been editing the episode for it, so I can tell you a little
you're doing
bit
a twofer
about it.
Nice.
No, he just watched the second one.
I watched the second one, and I'm
Right.
editing it for
Not the first
Sunday's episode of Creepy Couch.
Yeah, it's a twofer. He's,
Oh, I see what you mean.
Essentially,
Getting shows out of one
essentially,
bad
I've
movie.
seen it twice.
He's
I thought
double-
you meant doubling the
He's double
Oh,
dipping
God,
the
no.
chip. He's double dipping the chip like
double
Seinfeld.
dip. Don't double dip the chip.
You just double dip the chip.
Except for it's moldy dip. So, but yeah, I don't recommend this. I don't know. There's a bunch of Italian names in the credits, so I don't know what that
This
means.
a guy and that a guy.
Yeah, lots of that.
Hey, Giuseppe.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would assume Ghoulies is better than this. We weren't expecting anything fun. We were going in knowing that this is going to be stupid, and it is.
I don't remember
know
any
if
of
it's
these
streaming.
being good, to be honest.
No,
Ghoulies is like,
probably
hey,
not.
let's make a movie based on Gremlins, but when
Well,
we have
yeah,
no
in the
skills.
80s, I mean, there was Critters, Ghoulies, Troll. All those came out around the same 1 or 2
Ghoulies
years.
is that blonde guy who was a bad guy and everything.
I don't know,
Yes.
was his name like Biff
Is it
or
Royal
somebody
Dano?
like that?
Is that the guy's name?
I can't remember his name.
That's what we're hearing.
Oh, there it
There
is.
you go.
All right. Well, let's all rush over to not watch Ghoulies 2 or the movie Jason reviewed. Jack, you want to give us any hope for anything to watch?
No. But
God.
Rough week here at Final, guys.
what I watched may be the epitome of the term "so bad it's good."
I'm listening.
Jason, I think you've seen this movie, Cruel Jaws.
Oh yeah, with Hulk Hogan fighting the shark.
Oh yes, you're right, Hulk Hogan. Yes. yes.
Oh Lord.
So it was 4th of July weekend, and I watch Jaws a lot and stuff, but I was like, you know what I've been meaning to get to? Cruel Jaws, also known in some circles as Jaws 5, even though it is not related to the other Jaws movies, except that this movie is like a movie they filmed and then they took scenes from other shark movies, including the Jaws movies, Great White, maybe The Last Shark. I don't know if that's the same movie, but I definitely seen that, Deep Blood. And they just splice in and looks like some stock footage of sharks. I think that's from The Last Shark or Great White. I don't know if that's the same movie. There are parts of this movie that are word for word stolen from Jaws. The Hooper guy, like literally, like just picked up a Jaws script and read.
Good God!
Oh my God! This is one of the best scenes in movie history.
Right this not only does it steal from Jaws, but the other Jaws movies like Jaws 2. Also, depending on the cut you saw, Jason, I don't know if you had this. They played like the Star Wars music in this.
Yes,
What?
I do remember that. Yeah,
and didn't get sued.
I can't.
Wow.
It starts off with the Star Wars music and then sort of morphs.
Yeah, I don't know. Wow. I think there was a story behind this, either getting blocked from the U.S. or they did get sued. Like it's something like that because this movie just steals from everything. And so I'm telling you, it is god awful, but it is definitely worth sitting down and watching once just to be like, oh my freaking God. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
Wow. Where did you watch this?
It's on Tubi.
Did you even have to ask?
Yeah, I know.
It's on some other platforms too, like Freevee and the other ones, but I just went with Tubi.
I like the shark.
Well, the shark is from, I think it's the movie I'm attributing it to is The Last Shark, which may also be called Great White, which is another absolute total Jaws ripoff. That's the Hulk Hogan guy.
Yeah. This is like the main character.
I'm going to take you down, brother.
I'm telling you, I've been meaning to watch this. Jason watched it a while back. And then the other night, I was just like, all right, I'm going in. And my mouth was on the floor by the end of this thing. I could not. When the Star Wars music hit, I like passed out. Mine was just blown.
I think I have to watch this.
This movie's so much fun. It's so bad. Like, it is so bad.
Yeah, once you push the envelope and you're now over the line, and it's just fun. I'm down for that.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, you'll dig it for sure.
And there's a plot between the shark stuff that's similar to Jaws, and then like annoying people like dancing at a nightclub and stuff. It's
oh my Lord,
it's got to be seen to be believed.
It's going on the queue right after this. By the way, speaking of sharks and Jaws and stuff, like a couple of weeks ago we were talking about Jaws, and I said I don't think I ever read the book. So I went out and I bought the book. Peter Benchley. This is actually a nice kind of trade paperback edition. Which, Jack, it has extras.
Oh, really?
So it has, let me see the extras in here. Original title page of Jaws. He had like 100 titles he was considering. Letter from Peter Benchley to David Brown, co-producer of the film. Excerpts from other books. Photos from the Jaws movie set. So there's cool stuff in here.
Oh, cool.
So I had never read this before, and I'm like, damn, this is a good book. I don't think it would fly today if it was a new thriller today, because what happens is it's the basis of what we know from the movie. You know, Chief Brody, and there's a shark. But then, like, in the middle of the book, there's like a dinner party at Brody's house that just goes on forever. And you're like, what, are we in 40 pages of a dinner party where he's getting drunk and expecting that Cooper is going to bang his wife at one point? So there's a mafia element to the original. There's Cooper is a dashing rich dude, good looking guy, seduces Brody's wife. So it's very different. Quint is nailed. Quint is Quint. It's actually far more versus a whole lot more. Book. But man, this is such a fun book. It's great because I'm kind of it's like the movie, but it's different enough where I enjoyed it for what it was. Raw material.
Is this audio going like way in and out for you guys?
Is it?
Yeah. Now you're back.
Now you're back. It almost feels like maybe one of us has to talk to break it or something. It's strange.
Maybe that's the spell. Break the spell.
I got most of what you were saying though. So
Yeah.
I actually have this. I have this on audiobook, but I never listened to it.
You should.
I read it when I was a
really good.
kid, and I don't remember much of anything not from the movie, sort of.
Yeah.
But I remember the differences from the book to the movie because the ending's a little bit different.
The ending is
Hooper's
definitely
a little bit
different.
different.
A little. Hooper is
Yeah, Hooper is very different, and
different.
Hooper and Brody's wife. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. But man,
I
really
heard
good.
It's a great book. That's
It's
what I hear.
great.
It's a good book.
The writing's excellent. But like I said, if you release it today, people are like, what the F was with this giant dinner party? And there's all this other stuff going on land that has nothing to do with the shark.
I probably skimmed that when I read Lord of the Rings, all the poems, I would just
You put a poem in a book or a dream sequence, and I'm out. I'll search for wherever it ends, and I'm done.
Maybe
give a
Benchley
shit
was
about your
reading
dreams.
King at the time when he was writing that, or watching Deer Hunter when he was writing that part.
Deer Hunter.
Yeah, the
I had-
opening like half hour is just a party.
I had one of my classmates killed himself playing Russian roulette because they wanted to be like Deer Hunter.
oh my god.
It's sad.
Yeah, it was
That's
crazy. It was so funny because
okay.
not funny, but I was talking to somebody in our complex this weekend about where I went to school and talked about somehow we came across that, and then she goes, "I know that guy. I knew that guy." Two people in Pennsylvania, both coming from the Bronx, knew the same guy, which is crazy. But yeah, if you
Okay,
watch Deer
let's lighten
Hunter-
up the tone. Let's lighten
Don't-
things up
All right.
now and change.
I'll lighten up the tone. Here's your next read. Someone,
Oh,
You have that?
someone just sent it to me. I got it Sunday.
Oh,
good
awesome.
lord!
That's hard to get, man.
That's cool, man.
Jaws the Revenge. The book.
Is that a mass market paperback too?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
That was on the other day. I watched part of it. That should be a main feature sometime.
That movie is so crazy.
By the
Andre,
way,
did
is
you
this
see?
Shark Week?
What?
Is it Shark Week this week?
I think so.
I'll look it up while you.
Yeah, I think it is. All right, go ahead, Chad.
Well, Hunter, did you see that our buddy Tim Wagner's writing Terrifier 2 novelization?
I did. I felt like saying have
He
you been
gets
hit in
these.
the
He
head?
got Halloween. Was it Halloween? He got
the
one of
new
the
Halloween
Halloweens. Halloween
movies.
Kills or Halloween
Yeah.
Ends, and then he got Terrifier 2. Yeah, man.
I would
It is-
rather write The Hungry Caterpillar for 400 pages than do anything with Terrifier 2. To wipe your ass with that fucking movie.
We interrupt this program. Happy
Yes.
Shark Week. It's Shark Week right
It's
now.
Shark Week, so here we go.
Wow.
We-
what timing?
We have shark
We're
books, shark movies,
Jaws,
shark Legos.
Yeah.
We didn't even plan this. That's the most amazing thing.
Started on July 7th.
Look at that. Jason, do you have anything sharky for us? You want to
He
show
has
us
the
your
book,
dorsal
Jaws
fin?
the Revenge.
Yeah, that's as close
Yeah,
as I
he
got.
did. Yeah. You got anything else?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, or you could just look at the camera and wonder.
I read a graphic novel called Witches.
Wyches.
Wyches.
Called Wyches.
Wait, is there proof that you go to a library?
No,
be right
somebody
back.
sent this to me. You kidding me? I don't leave my house.
I was
hell
going to
you-
be shocked as hell.
What are you talking about? No, this is a really cool graphic novel. I got this at the same time as the Hellraiser one that wasn't particularly good that I read.
Yes, I remember that.
This is a really cool book. It's about a family who moves to a new town, and the daughter is seeing weird stuff in the woods, and there's someone in a tree that keeps talking to her, and people start disappearing. And the end of this book goes freaking crazy. Like, the first quarter, I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then in the middle, they start like timeline jumping, and it was like, it's kind of pulling me out of it. And then the end is just balls to the wall. So I really dug it. This is a solid read, and the artwork's cool. So, yeah. I can actually see what's going on, which a lot of these graphic novels I read, I'm like, I can't even tell what the hell's happening. That was
I
not
know.
a problem here. So,
I'm thinking an artistic direction to make sure everything is a blur.
Yes, I want you to have no clue what's going
Thanks for a visual media. Thank you so much.
on. Greg is asking if this book has pledged in it. Yes, it does. This is the book you're thinking of. So, very cool. I think you guys might like this one.
And if anyone wants to send us a copy,
It's about witches.
hit us up. Witches, bitches. All right, Chad. Did you get two
I'm
of
out.
you this week? You're out?
No.
All right. Jack, you're in.
Get
Get
I watched a new release called Trim Season. Which is not
what?
about what's
Is that a
related
horror
to
movie?
Maxine?
It's about marijuana.
Really?
Okay.
So, trim season is the time of year where the pot growers trim their crops into their buds or
Oh.
whatever. So this is kind of I don't know. It's trying to take Suspiria and Wicker Man and Cheech and Chong. I don't know. It's not that funny though. It's like
Good
weed.
God.
So it's this girl like loses her job, and her best friend, who is actually awesome. It's the Alexandra Esso, who's Starry Eyes and Doctor Sleep, and
Oh.
she's like the best friend in it.
Oh, yeah. She's good.
So the two of them meet. Another friend of theirs introduces them to this guy who's recruiting for people to do like I forgot how long it is, maybe a two week or 2 month gig where they go up to this, out in the woods to some campus or whatever. Not campus, but hideaway where they can make money trimming weed. And it's run by this woman who's kind of like a witchy woman who's all mysterious and stuff like that. And then like supernaturally stuff starts to happen, and there are going to be some people who like this. This one wasn't for me,
Potheads.
but it's potheads, and maybe like younger people who haven't seen 1,000 movies. who are
Adult
like, oh,
Swim people.
like for me, it took a while to get going. And then when it did get going, I thought it was kind of hokey. It does get into some fun supernatural stuff, but I just kept laughing at it because there's an element to witch who can control people, so they might stab themselves. That just looked really silly to me. Like, no, I don't.
Oh God.
So, but it was kind of funny because they're doing all this kind of like, there's all this plot and witchcraft stuff and whatever, but then they're all lighting up fatties and stuff like that the whole time. So it's,
Because I got high.
this one was not for me, but if it sounds intriguing to you, watch the trailer. Maybe you'll like it.
If you like to sit around at 2 a.m. watching Squidbillies and laugh till your nutsack explodes, it's probably for you.
It's like 80-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, though, so somebody out there likes it.
4 reviews though.
It's all potheads.
Damn weed smokers. All right. Because I watched Jaws and my wife loves shark movies, I'm like, let's see what new shark movies there are. So I picked 2 and we'd watch the trailers. And one of them was one you watched a couple of weeks ago, Jack, with the girls going out on the boat and it looked like under.
Oh, yeah. Something in the water.
Yeah. So we chose No Way Up,
I also saw that one.
which is a bunch of people on a plane that crashes, goes underwater, and then there are sharks
Sharks on a plane.
terrorizing the plane. Yeah, sharks in the plane. I said, let's watch this because it's so absurd. It's got to be fun, maybe, if they know what they're doing. And you know what? Surprisingly, I had a pretty good time with this movie. As stupid as it was, they played it straight. Cole Meany was in it. I love that dude. But no shock. He said, probably, I'll do it.
Chief O'Brien from Star Trek.
Yeah. He probably said, I'll do it, but make sure I'm not on the last page of the script. But it's ends up being like 6 of them are left, and there's like this air trapped in there. Surprisingly, the electricity never goes off, despite the fact
Right.
that the plane is underwater and it's cracked in half.
The electricity's there, and there's an air pocket, so they're just fine.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean, but look, there's no real surprises in this movie other than the fact that I think everybody who was in it really gave it their best, and they were pretty damn good for a movie about sharks in a plane underwater. You know what I mean? It wasn't
This movie needed more of a sense of humor, not like Sci-Fi Channel ridiculous,
Yes.
but just a little more.
well, because it had none.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Although I did find it funny because there's always like you got to have like the douchebag character, and this douchebag was throwing so many like homophobic shit the way of one of the flight attendants. I'm like, whoa, nobody would say this, even in 1952 on a plane, much less 2024. But there are a couple of character arcs, surprisingly. Maybe not enough sharks. That was my one complaint. There weren't enough sharks, but when there were sharks, they didn't look too bad.
There's some
Planes didn't look
impressive
too bad.
special effects with this, because like the
Yeah,
fact that like you can now like have somebody underwater with a plane, and probably nobody is underwater like ever in this movie. Like
there might not be in any water for all we know. But the plane stuff, like when they do the exteriors of the plane, that looked pretty good. So I'm going to tell you, it's summertime. It's hot. Your brain is fried from the heat. You've been at the beach for a while, the pool. You're just tired. You just want to watch something kind of like fun. This is it. Put this sucker in. Kind of
Alright.
not highly recommended, but I recommend it. And we're going to watch the one you watched, Jack, next.
just
So-
keep the bar low.
Yeah, keep the well. The bar was low. Once you do shark movies,
Yes.
my bar is always low. Shark movies, Bigfoot movies, UFO movies. The bar is as low as it can get. Nobody can limbo under that bar.
Put Cruel Jaws on that list.
Oh, cool. That's going on the list for sure.
Worth it.
All right, Jason, you got anything else?
Done.
Jack, you got anything else?
Done.
All right. I want you to put on some spandex, some neon colored stuff. Let's get porny and let's go back to the 80s for MaXXXine.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
I think I have a favorite. Now, by the way, we have reviewed X and we have reviewed Pearl. We had Peter Polk on the show talking about them. So it's high time we got to MaXXXine. Jack, give us the skinny on all things Mia Gothi.
So MaXXXine, we pick up years after X. I don't know how many years, but
think
she
it's
has made
5.
it out to Hollywood in the 80s. And she is, I guess, a pretty successful porn star these days.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to pick up with her auditioning for a real movie. And as she starts to try and get legit, we are in the midst of the, what do you call it? The Night Stalker murders that terrorized LA. And that is casting a shadow over everything. And suddenly the violence that may or may not be related to that starts to hone in on or creep in on her life. And what's MaXXXine going to do when the Night
right.
Stalker is coming for you?
Nice.
Good job. There's a lot going on in this movie.
There's a lot going on. And Kevin Bacon.
Oh my God. He was the tits in this movie.
Yes.
I didn't know it was him the first time he was on screen.
Really?
Because he's kind of in the car or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's a scuzzy kind of guy. And then later I was like, oh crap. That's Kevin Bacon.
Bacon.
Bacon strips. So Chad, you didn't see it. This is
No, but I'm curious about what you guys think because I've only heard from one person, and
Ruff, ruff.
yeah, they didn't like it. So I'm really curious to see what you guys thought.
I will say, stylistically, you can't for a trilogy. Every movie is its own style, completely different than the other ones. Jason, what'd you think?
Well, I was waiting to see. I think the puppy is done barking.
She can bark.
She's a
It's
puppy, but she's 70 some pounds and huge and loud.
Good Lord.
I loved this movie. I saw it by myself yesterday at what time did it start? 10:45 in the morning was the showing I got to.
Oh my God.
So I think when I walked in and bought the ticket, the guy was like, "What?" It's like, "You guys are showing it."
Are you
So,
okay?
I was the only person in the theater, so that was kind of interesting. This is my favorite of the trilogy. I'm not
Wow.
even sure it's really close for me, but I probably have to go back and watch X again because I liked X a lot. I like Pearl. I dug its style and everything, but I have a hate boner for prequels, and I really like this, man. To be honest, I thought the story of like murders and the cops trying to figure out what's going on and MaXXXine's caught up and all this stuff, I thought that was more interesting than the horror stuff in it, to be honest. It was so well done. Every time Kevin Bacon is on screen, I was like enthralled. He's so freaking good in this movie.
He is.
So I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is way up my list this year. It might be number one. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but I really dug it.
Woo. Wow. I got the vapors. All right. Jack.
Well, sorry, Jason, but I'm with you, brother. This movie's great. I really had a good time with it. I walked out thoroughly happy. Hunter, you're exactly right. Every movie is different.
Yep.
So, there's you can compare which one you liked, but it's not like you go, well, these two did this and this one didn't. All of them are completely different homages to different types of films.
Mm-hmm.
This one did the sleazy 80s, had a De Palma feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Mia Goth is captivating. She's just, my God.
She has established herself now as the top.
Yeah. I pray she doesn't leave horror because she's so freaking good. Like, she's going to get huge roles.
Yeah.
The cast really helps this movie because, like, Giancarlo Esposito, Kevin Bacon, Michelle Monaghan,
yeah,
keep going. That's kind of the most noticeable difference from the other movies is suddenly you've got this A-list of people in this movie. And even people with small roles do a lot with a little bit of time. And it's just a ton of fun. Like it's got some great gore moments, but the entire time, I think where other people might pick on this movie, I was just having fun with it. So it was cool with me. So, I'll be curious to see what you think, but I really enjoyed it.
Well, my bar was way up. As up because I love X. That's one of my favorite movies. I really like Pearl. Pearl is Mia Goth coming to just full bloom. She did an Oscar-worthy performance in that. Just that monologue that she does is just mind-blowing.
The scene at the end.
Yeah. So I was like, how are we going to follow this up? And first of all, 80s? 1985, this is when I was at my peak performance. Porn. Good God. Horror movies. I thought this movie was absolutely amazing. It blew me away. It blew away the expectations that I had built up over 2 years. I thought the soundtrack was killer. Like, that was the soundtrack of my youth.
Nailed the music.
Freaking love the soundtrack of this. I'm Jason. I'm with you. I love the non-horror, the real crime aspects with her life, her past coming back to haunt her and getting tied up in all this stuff. I thought that was phenomenal. And I love the idea of the horror movie that she's going to make that jump. So Pearl, who had all these aspirations but zero talent, ended up bitter and insane on a farm. This girl has the aspirations and has talent, and she's going to make herself a star. And I love the fact that the movie that she was going to get is kind of mirroring what's going on in her real life. I just,
Yeah.
and Mia Goth. By the way, I found out before this because we watched Infinity Pool like a few days before because my wife hadn't seen it, and I'm like, man, she's the first time I realized she's got to be tall. She's 5'10".
Really?
Yeah, she's 5'10", and a couple of times in this movie, they note how tall she is in the movie. She's like
James.
James.
The great thing is when you hear her real voice. It's like, oh there, oh my God, I'm so grateful you came my movie. May I have some more, please?
That's pretty good.
She does a great Southerner, though. Holy cow!
It's Mia Goth and Merman. Thank you for coming to my movie. I really liked it a lot.
Oh, so yeah, this is number one. It's gonna take something monumental to knock that off. Just like I said with X, when I saw X, I'm like, that's number one.
I agree. It's probably number one.
Yeah,
I mean, you're gonna have to pull out a new Jason.
Long Legs is coming next week. I'm looking forward to that.
Looking forward to it, but it's not gonna do this. I hope they don't make a fourth. I think it's wrapped up.
How much did this make? $7 million this weekend, I think I saw.
No, we're good.
We might get a fourth. We'll see. I don't know. This definitely costs more than the other ones. I mean, the cast in this is...
Also, think about the way this was made. They were making X. COVID hits. They go to, I think it was Australia to film this because it was like the COVID-free area, the least COVID.
Australia.
And while they're there, they're like, hey, we've got the time and the space. Let's film 2 movies. So Mia Goth and Ty West bang out Pearl for the hell of it.
Yep.
And then they come back and, they've got
MaXXXine.
MaXXXine.
Write this one, though. This was all Ty West.
Right. But I'm just saying, the Pearl element of this, which adds a nice layer to everything. But, for a trilogy this impressive, the way it wasn't planned, they just kind of flew by the seat of their pants, makes this whole thing even more impressive.
This might be one of the best horror trilogies ever. Ever. You're going to have to fight me to figure out what's better.
You have my sword. And my
fight me. It's so good. It's almost like it feels like it's done by 3 different directors. Like he's reinventing himself every single time.
I am actually wondering if he's going to get big movies now, because this one in particular is so well done. Like he just nailed this movie. So, kind of like Wingard got the Godzilla movies. What I mean?
Put his career in the shitter. I mean, for quality.
The gold shitter he's sitting on.
I know. He's sitting in a gold-plated shitter, but it's still like...
Is Ty West made a bad movie? I know he made the Devil one, right? The 70s Devil one that Hunter likes.
I love that movie.
House of the Devil.
Yeah, House of the Devil,
Might be
The
his best
Innkeepers.
And then Innkeepers. Sacrament. Okay, I haven't seen
He did the one about the cult, too.
Yeah, Sacrament.
House of the Devil was about the cult too.
I've never seen a bad Ty West movie.
He made that Western, too, that I saw. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. You know what? Cabin Fever. I'm looking at his list now. Cabin Fever 2 is probably his worst movie.
Oh, and I think it's a good movie.
Well, that I've seen. He's got others on here I've never heard of. Triggerman, The Roost. I don't know any of these.
The Roost is an early thing. I mean, it's like way fresh out of NYU, I think.
Of the ones I've seen, definitely Cabin Fever 2. And The Innkeepers, it's not like a bad movie, but it's of his known movies, it's like my least favorite.
A little slow.
Love that movie.
That's a good movie, though. Filmed here in Connecticut.
That's right. It's the House of the Devil, too. They're close by. The house and
Come to the tour.
The Peddler.
So, Chad, your friend didn't like this movie at all.
I asked him that I can't remember exactly how I worded it, but I think I just asked him if it held up to the others that I liked it. The others, he loved the others, and he said unfortunately it doesn't. We didn't really get into it, but I think he's got a reaction, or I think he's got a commentary thing on online about it.
The knock on this I've heard from people is a lot of people don't like the ending in this movie, which I liked the ending of the movie. So
I love the ending.
We'll have to go into spoilers a little bit. I do have one complaint about the ending, but it's not like a huge deal. Didn't like this movie. That's wild. Like that blows me away.
He's not the only one. I've seen people who say they don't like it. I don't know. Guess they don't.
I could see people who didn't like X or Pearl not liking this for sure. But
well, I'm glad you said that, because I think if I was ranking them, this and Pearl are probably, it depends on my mood, but X for me is my favorite of them.
X is still my favorite. It's 1A, 1B.
The great thing is you could really watch these in any order.
I mean, I would definitely watch this and then, or X and then this. Pearl
X
can be
this.
whenever the hell you want. Or not at all.
Peter Polk is rolling in his grave. Oh, wait, he's alive.
Wasn't it great when you saw his name?
I saw that. I was like, cool, man. I'm glad he was still involved.
Yeah. They're tied at the hip, man. They ain't going anywhere.
I thought that was cool. I'm like, hey, that guy's been on my podcast.
Poor guy.
Doing a good job, man.
So I stood up and I had a good 12, 15 people in my. Hi, everybody. Just a quick note before things get started.
He's been on Final, guys.
I think it was like the 12 o'clock showing on Sunday. And there were like 7 of us. And this is a place where you pick your seats before time, and 2 people sat like a seat away from me. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind?
I've got. Can I go? Can I tell you?
Yeah, because I know I was there first. When I bought it, there were no seats taken.
I ordered mine. There was people in the row before me, row after me. Nobody in my row. So I go off to the side a little bit, so I'm not even like right behind or in front of somebody.
Yeah.
And then when I get there, there's like a family of 4, like teenage 20-something-year-old guy. I'm in like seat 7, and he's like in seat 8. And I'm like, you had to bought these tickets after I did. Why would you put your seat right up against mine? And there's a whole empty row of seats the other way. So I walk up, and because I got to my seats after they did. So I go, I leave one seat, and I go, that's actually my seat, but I'm going to sit here. But if somebody comes, I'm going to have to move over. And he like looks at me like, well, it doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. I go, yeah, I know. I just wanted to let you know.
I was just waiting if I would get the sideways foot tap, and that was later.
But what I wanted to say to them was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Or can I see your thing because I think you're sitting in the wrong seat? Because why would anybody actually do that?
You're brain dead.
Yeah.
I started chewing my popcorn with my mouth open just to be annoying. I hoped they would move. They didn't. I farted. I did a few things that would get anyone to move in an empty theater. But they were like fully committed.
They're burrowing in.
Like, Jesus.
Oh, that's amazing.
My farts cleared the house at home. I couldn't even clear 2 seats in a stupid theater.
Well, speaking of disgusting, do we want to get into spoilers?
Let's. Yay.
All right, you crazy cats.
All right, dude.
Bye.
See you next week.
Later, Adelnitz.
Sizzle chest.
I'm silly.
First of all, one of the things I loved in this movie is when Kevin Bacon shows up, he's got like a broken nose, and he's basically dressed like Nicholson from Chinatown.
He kind of is. You're right.
And then he's chasing her around the movie lot. He's like running like an old guy.
Oh, he is an old guy.
How old is he now? He's got to be 70? 60s?
He's also the bad guy in the new Beverly Hills Cop movie that just dropped on Netflix. So, like, he is like, it's Kevin Bacon week around here.
Nice.
Yeah, he was so good as the crooked private dick.
His death. Were you guys waiting for them to pause it to try to get information out of him?
I was.
No. I was like, wow, okay.
I think what we've learned about MaXXXine is she doesn't mess around.
Well, I think we learned that A from X, and then if you forgot, when she squishes that guy's balls under her heel.
Yeah. But I like that whole thing because that she carries this quiet confidence that, like, yeah, I'm not your usual final girl.
Yeah.
I've got some miles on me. Bring it.
I'm also not innocent. Final girls are innocent girls thrust into dangerous situations.
She is a coke blowing, knife wielding, gun toting.
I loved when
Minx.
the ball popping scene just before it, when she's in the alley and she goes like, "Stop right there, Buster," because he's dressed like Buster
Yeah.
Keaton. I laughed. No one else laughed because
I did not get that. Oh,
I thought
beautiful.
that was hysterical.
I thought that was really well done because it showed her trying to get away, like through the fence, and it was just playing out like a regular woman in distress in a movie. And then when she turns around, the switch is flipped, and she's not playing.
I guess that's what she'll do in life. That's her thing. She will try to get out of a bad situation, but if she can't,
She pours
it's turned
gasoline
on you.
on it.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah. That close up of the balls exploding, I was like, thanks, Ty. Really needed that. Really needed that.
It was great though, man.
But I tell you, that's the signature on these movies. Is every one of that's the common theme. Every one of them has a couple of those outrageous moments.
Yeah. So my biggest issue with the ending was the build up to her against this cult leader who happens to be your dad, all this stuff. And then it's resolved between the two of them without her actually doing anything to get him in that position. You know what I mean? Like, everyone else shoots him and chases him, and by the time she gets there, it's over. That was really my biggest complaint, was like, I wanted more of a finale between the two of them, but, you know, still has a cool moment at the end.
Yeah. Well, because I think in essence, she's not a killer. She will if she has to.
I mean, she
But
is a killer.
She did make sure that no taxpayer money was wasted on a trial, and he could never speak. Because I think also it's like she wants her origin story to be whatever she says it is, and not whatever would come out of his mouth.
Yeah,
So-
I liked all that. Just the fact that he was already shot and on the ground when she gets there. It's like I could have used a little more between them. You know, but still, solid ending. I also was surprised at how upbeat her story is by the end. I mean, she's a crazy character who's done crazy shit, and she kind of gets like this happy ending. And I was like,
because she's a star.
I did not expect that. I thought it was going to
Because
be worse.
there's a coat of paint over her darkness.
Right. She did everything she needed to do to get to where she wanted to be.
I'm not complaining about it. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I expected the end of this movie to go poorly for her.
You know what I did love about the end is when Michelle Monaghan comes rolling around the corner with the cross in her eye.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And what's her name?
Good.
What's Bobby? What's his name? Carnival.
Bobby Carnival.
How everything he says to her, he's like reciting it like an actor.
Yes. So that's exactly what I was going to mention. There's all these actors that maybe you'll recognize, but you don't know their names. You might even not be able to place what you know them from, but you know them. Mm-hmm. And their casting is great. All of them absolutely kill their roles. Like, who's the woman who's the special effects guru? I can't think of that actress's name. She puts a plaster on her.
She was in the,
She was in the Yellow Jackets.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
That's a great example. She's in the movie for 2 minutes, but she's great and she's memorable. It's just, that's kind of every actor in this movie. It's just perfect casting, and then they crushed the performance.
By the way, I mentioned earlier Mia Goth is 5'10". The director, the woman, made her look like
how tall
someone
is she?
from Wizard of Oz. What is she, 7 feet tall?
And what do we know her from? Like, the whole time I was like, who is that?
I mean,
I
she
don't know
looked like
who she
a
is.
woman from like some Nazi nun.
That was an interesting dynamic because Pearl does have this like strength, but then when she's around her, she's almost like the student.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she defers to her.
She's in Tenet, Cloverfield Paradox, Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Oh, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Is she the gold chick?
I don't remember.
But what's her height? I'm curious. She's gotta be
6'3", which is
10 feet.
wild.
Yeah, that's a tall woman.
Yeah, she's my height. That's
I just looked at her and going,
Rare.
she's like the Sybil Danning for 2024. Had that vibe, that Valkyrie vibe.
this woman, Elizabeth Debicki.
Is that her name?
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, next Sybil Danning, right there.
but even her, she did a great job. Like she's not in the movie a lot, but it's memorable.
Yeah.
I did like when they had Pearl up in the Bates house window.
Yes.
I thought that was cool, and I loved the fact that they were running around the sets, and you'd be like, in New York, and then in Paris or whatever.
There were for me, there were no false notes in this movie. It was just true to what he's been building.
I really don't have any complaints. That's why I was shocked to hear like Chad's friend didn't like this. Like I really wouldn't change a whole lot,
Has Chad seen all of these?
I think he said so.
If
Maybe
you've only say your favorite is Pearl, I don't think you're gonna like MaXXXine.
It's very different.
Yeah, so I don't think that's gonna be your bag.
But X, like I'd be surprised somebody who doesn't like X doesn't like MaXXXine.
Somebody was just telling me they don't like X. I was like, what? All right, sure.
I liked X, and when I watched it a second time, I was like, oh, I like this even more the second time.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch MaXXXine again.
Me too. I'm looking forward to checking this out again. The music was not music you would think to pick, but just is great for each scene.
Dude, he picked Frankie Goes to Hollywood, but Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. Not Relax.
Yeah,
Welcome
that
to
was
the
it.
Pleasure
Because
Dome.
like if you watch like Suicide Squad movie, every song is like so on the sympathy for the devil. Everything is so on the nose. This was way more nuanced.
Yeah.
Yep.
Betty Davis eyes at the end.
Yes.
It was like, God, I haven't heard this song in forever. Perfect.
What's the best movie that has Betty Davis eyes in? The Final Girls.
MaXXXine.
Oh,
No, The Final Girls. In the
Maxine.
beginning, that's where she dies with her daughter.
Oh, I don't even remember that being in the
I
movie.
saw that once.
It's
Oh,
been
my
a long time.
What? Oh, I watch it every year. I love that movie. But yeah, MaXXXine is it. This is it. I'm putting it in pen. It's an ink number one.
Yeah, right now I would probably say number one.
I would be surprised if this is knocked off.
I haven't seen anything that's good since X. So that's 2 years. Nothing's going to be as good as that.
There's only really a couple of movies in the upper echelon right now for me. Like,
Yeah. I got a bunch that could make top 13, but
yeah, there's a few.
where I'm thinking top 5.
Yeah, like middle of the pack stuff. Like Abigail's probably after this for me.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that. I freaking loved Abigail.
Yeah, but
But I got all year to figure it out. So,
Ooh.
You have.
but I really am looking forward to Long Legs because
Me too.
it's getting really good buzz
Is that coming out this weekend?
this weekend.
Okay.
That's
So
our next movie. Correct?
Lutzky's either
Would we like to do the... Well, we won't do the Watchers for next episode because that'll be Long Legs, but we should do
And the
that
Watchers
soon.
is gone. That got trashed.
yeah.
The Watchers
and
did
it's
it?
gone.
Oh.
Yes.
If one that we might want to consider doing. Jason and I already saw the Violent Nature, but that's now available to rent.
Oh,
Well,
so
I will
cool.
not be watching it again.
No, I wouldn't watch it again. But if you and Chad wanted
God.
to watch it,
I do.
we should-
I go for that. And then we got the M. Night Shyamalan movie, Trap.
oh yeah,
I'm super curious. Which M. Night are we going to get? like
You never know.
one of his movies, I'm like, how is this so bad? And the next one, I'm like, damn, this is really good.
It's like going out drinking with a bipolar buddy. You just never know how the night's gonna end.
What was the one on the beach?
Old.
Old. Like some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard in my life.
Tell that to Tim Meyer when we were at a book signing. He was telling me how good that movie is.
Jesus Christ. But
And
then
with taking
the
my
cabin
view.
in the woods, was it just called the cabin at the end of the... What was the name of that?
Knock at the end. Not cabin.
Knock
Knock at the Cabin.
Knock at the cabin. Something.
That was good.
That was.
Good dialogue. They had good dialogue.
He's every other movie.
Yeah. Oh, God. That probably doesn't bode well for us then.
No, it'll probably be shit. But
Probably.
trailer
He's
looked
just-
good.
He's describing it as Silence of the Lambs at a Taylor Swift concert.
All right. But that's coming soon.
I don't know how to take that.
Yeah, that's coming in a couple of weeks. I don't know.
There was another trailer I saw that looked pretty good. Now I can't even remember what the hell it was.
Did you see the one with Hugh Grant?
Yes, that's an A24 movie.
That looks interesting.
I missed all of the trailers for this. So Hugh Grant horror movie.
Hugh Grant in a horror
Heretic.
movie.
Heretic, it's called.
Yeah, that looked good.
Dude, these trailers have got to stop. Half hour of trailers.
What? Yeah, what's going on? It's crazy.
Maybe that's how they're paying for all this shit because there's nobody going to the movies. Like movies are dead.
Although when I did go, the theater was packed, but they were packed to see Despicable Me 4 and Inside Out 2. Every child in the state of Pennsylvania was in the movie theater. It was madness.
Those are like the only 2 movies this year that have done anything. So
Yeah,
I
pretty
don't know.
much.
I love going to the movies, but I tell you, $5 for a water and $5 for a bag of candy. Like,
It's ridiculous.
you're kidding.
I got to tell you,
Ugh.
I saw MaXXXine for $8. So at a brand new theater, then my water was so big I would need 4 kidneys to process what was in this water. And
Dude, I saw it at 10:45 in the
cost.
morning. It was still $12 for me. Like, it's just it's absurd.
dude, 12 is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like where I used to live and where Jack lives, it's like 16, 17, $18.
For a matinee?
Matinees are like 15.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mine was a matinee, but like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I like $8.
I do the
love my
AMC
theater.
thing now, so as long as I see like 2 movies a month,
Yeah.
it pays for itself.
Yeah.
But I get 3 movies a week. I never see them, but I'm going to see stuff like no problem. The M. Night Shyamalan. Yep, I'll go.
Is it the theater down the block from you?
All of them now are AMC. Everything around here is AMC now.
Man, you got it made. You could stumble there drunk and make your way there.
I have done that.
I do miss my Regal Pass, man. I watched so many movies. What the hell just happened?
My soda can was falling. I reached for it and knocked over my screen. It's all good. We're all good.
Perfect. Nice.
It's the end.
Tina's only seen 1 movie in the theater in like 6 years.
Holy cow.
Tina,
Wow.
if you come to Connecticut, I will take you to a movie.
Yeah, exactly. We'll take you to see Inside Out too.
I'll take it to Long Legs. Get here for Friday.
Next week is Long Legs. I'm very psyched to see that movie. Micah Monroe and Nick Cage, who is not in any of the trailers.
He is. There was something that they were showing him or playing. I don't know. They were like Micah Monroe's reaction to Nick Cage, and I turned it off. I was like, I don't want to know.
I don't even know what this movie's about. I've seen nothing.
It's a
Serial
criminal
killer.
police thing, yeah, a cult thing.
Don't even tell me shit. I don't want to know.
That's it.
He
All you get.
takes his face and another guy's face, and they switch him.
I went to that Nun movie, and I didn't know it was a Nun movie until I was buying my ticket. I was like, oh, all right.
Oh, that's rough. That's
No, I
rough.
love it. I love it. Going in completely blind is my favorite.
My wife can't understand how we do that. Just, why don't you know what this movie is? I'm like, I don't know. I like
Yeah,
to be surprised.
I prefer it. Yeah, it's fun.
All right,
all right.
guys.
Yeah, wait, have you seen the Nosferatu trailer by any chance?
Yes,
That looks awesome.
it looks pretty incredible. Maxine is better. Peter Polk, if you want to come back on the show and bring your buddy Ty, you're invited. I
Yeah, we
know
should
you
hit him
watch
up.
us every week. All right, so next week's going to be Long Legs. Might just be the 3 of us, John, about it. Maybe Chad. We don't know. We're going to find out.
Well, we'll hear what Chad watched on Creepy Couch. And
This
then-
is very true. Double dipping. We got to set a no double dip indemnity rule. We gotta set that up. All right. As always, it was a pleasure. You all just have a great Shark Week and tell the world that you love Final Guys.
Bye.
Game over,